Okay, y'all. Stromboli's in the oven. We've got to have dessert. And I've had so many of y'all message me and say, hey, will you make peanut butter no bakes without the chocolate? So guess what I'm going to do for y'all? I'm going to make the peanut butter no bakes. And they're just as simple and they're just as good. So I'm going to make these the way I've made them all my life. You make them the way you want to make them. But please, no hate toward me because I'm all about positivity. Y'all, I just kicked cancer's ass. Therefore, I don't need any drama and I don't need any negativity whatsoever in my life because I'm happy and so is my family. So with that being said, let's make some peanut butter no bakes. First thing you need to do is have you 1 stick of butter in your pan, and I'm using an aluminum pan and I've got it on medium-high heat. To that, I'm going to add 2 cups of white sugar, and yes, that's 2 cups. Let me grab my measuring cup real quick for a half cup of milk. Okay, I've got a half a cup of milk in this measuring cup, and it's 1 cup. So there, I'm going to add that in there. Again, 1 stick of butter, 2 cups of white sugar, and a half a cup of milk. I'm going to melt my butter, and I'm going to mix this around. And once it comes to a rolling boil, I set my timer for 90 seconds, and I don't touch it. Like I said, this is how I make mine, and they turn out great for my family and I every time. You make yours the way you want, but I'm just showing you what works for me. So let's get this all mixed up and incorporated and bring it to a boil. Let me show you what I got in my Jethro bowl. I've been making sourdough bread for a long time, and I've got my bread rising right now to where it's on the last to the next final step. It's on step 3 of step 4. Let me just rephrase that. So I usually let this sit on my stove underneath the light for 12 hours or until it doubles in size. Then I bake it, and this smells so good, y'all. So, all right, my mixture is coming to a rolling boil. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set my timer for 90 seconds, and I'm not gonna touch it. This is what your mixture looks like when it comes to a rolling boil. See that? You can see the steam. That's perfect, and it's got 20 seconds left to go. Okay, it did its magic for 90 seconds. I'm going to eyeball in a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm going to whiskey that in, and then I'm going to add in a half a cup of peanut butter. And I am a peanut butter snob, I'm not going to lie to you. I love Peter Pan. This is my favorite. And I'm going to eyeball in about a half a cup. And you got to work quick. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm saving my spoon because I'm going to lick it. No peanut butter goes to waste in this house, y'all. None. None. All right, this smells absolutely great. I've got some Reynolds wrap laying out on my bar because you know when I make no bakes, I dish mine out with a measuring cup. It just works so much better than a cookie scoop. And plus, we don't like little bitty cookies. We want fat ones. We want one that's more than 2 or 3 bites. That's just how we roll up in this house. All right, my peanut butter is mixed up, as you see. You can use chunky peanut butter if you want. It's your choice. You can use whatever brand you want. So I'm starting out with 2.5 cups of quick oats. So I'm going to take that in there, and I'm going to take my rubber spatula, and I'm going to just mixy all around. And again, I add a little at a time because you can always add, but you can't take away. I can make these things with my eyes closed, y'all. No joke. This is how I won my husband over, by the way. It's no bakes. My no bakes, my biscuits, and my fried chicken. Once he had that, he's like, will you marry me? He knew what good food was. All right, I'm going to add just a little bit more, about 1/4 cup. And I'm just taking my hands and just dumping it in there like so. Because you kind of know when you make these for so long, you know when you need more oats or not. You do not want your mixture soupy or runny because they're not going to form as a cookie. And I never make these when it's rainy outside or humid because every time I did, guess what? They didn't set up. So this is what the dough looks like, or the batter. And I'm taking my shit, I can't talk. My measuring cup, and I'm plopping them out on my Reynolds wrap. Let me move it over here so you can see. And I make big fat ones. They look like cow patties, as you see. You don't get as much with your batter, but you get a bigger cookie and you get to enjoy it longer. That's how we look at it. And you always want your no bakes to have a shine. If they don't have a shine, they're gonna be dry. And that's it, y'all. That's how I make peanut butter no bakes. So go love your family, and I love you. And I don't know how to hit pause again.